Tempering chocolate has to be one of the most intimidating techniques for any baker or pastry chef. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can do the tabling method, you can do it over a bain-marie or in a microwave. But what I'm going to show you today is how to do it directly on an induction hob in a pan. It's going to give us low, precise, controlled heat for melting and tempering our chocolate. So we're going to use the seeding method. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to pour our chocolate directly into the pan, and over a low heat, we're going to melt it until it reaches about 45 degrees Celsius. We'll take it off the heat, add 20% of the weight back in, and keep stirring until it hits 31 degrees C. So we're going to take that chocolate and pour it into our pan. And this is going to take a little bit of time, but we want to be low and slow here, okay? The worst thing you can do is heat this up too quickly, because if you go above about 50 degrees C, then you're not going to be able to temper your chocolate. So you want to get it between 45 and 50 degrees C. So just keep moving it with a spatula, incorporating those melted bits of chocolate. And if at any point you feel like it's melting too quickly, just lower that heat back down. My chocolate is at 45.5 degrees now. So I got it to about 44 on the hob, then I pulled it off and I let the residual heat from the pan just bring it up to 45. And we've got the 20% of the weight of chocolate here that we're gonna add in. So this is the seed, okay? This is what's gonna cool it down. It's gonna almost act like little ice cubes. So we're gonna start with about half, and we're gonna stir this through. Now, this is where you kind of need to have a little bit of experience tempering chocolate, and what you're gonna look for is how quickly this chocolate melts, and also the temperature you're getting on your thermometer. If the chocolate's above 35 degrees and all these little pieces of chocolate you added in have already melted, then add a few more pieces back in. But if it's anything below 35, you don't need to add any more in. So just keep stirring it. It's important when you're tempering chocolate to have constant movement, so don't walk away until we get down to about 31 degrees. So I'm at 36.5 now. If I lift this up, you might not quite be able to see, but there's a few little bits of chocolate still unmelted. So at this point, I don't want to add any more in. So even though I've got maybe 5 or 6 grams of chocolate left, don't add any more in because it will be difficult for that to melt. So keep stirring until we get down to that 31 degrees. Our chocolate is in temper. So I'm going to work quickly here to make sure the chocolate doesn't cool down too much. I'm going to transfer it into a piping bag just because it's a lot easier to pipe that way, and then we'll get it into our chocolate bar molds. Now you could use your temper chocolate to do absolutely anything. You could create decorations, different types of chocolate bars. I'm using a polycarbonate chocolate tablet mold. So this is very common. You can get these easily online, but it's going to give us this lovely design to our tablet. I'm going to fill it with chocolate, but you can add crushed nuts, pretzels, whatever you want to do once you've piped in your temper chocolate. So I'm just going to snip off the ends like that, and then we'll just fill up this mold. And you can see the gloss that chocolate has. And then all we do is we take this mold and we're just going to tap it. You can use your work surface. What that's going to do, it's going to level the chocolate, but it's also going to get rid of any air bubbles. Now, if I was being a purist, I would tell you should probably leave this to crystallize overnight at room temperature, but you can push things a little bit. If you put it in the fridge, 5-10 minutes, and then it'll just pop right out of the mold. Our chocolate's had 12 hours overnight, or 10 minutes in the fridge. And all you're gonna do is, because it's been perfectly tempered, you're gonna take it and you're just gonna smack it out, and you can see how lovely that shine is. The chocolate has got a perfect snap, and that's how you know you've tempered your chocolate correctly.